Hello and welcome to Tutorials Point. Today in conversion rate optimization, we will discuss about user personas. What are user personas? Why we need to actually examine user personas and how actually user personas can help you in having a good conversion rate, in having building a very good website. Let's get started with it. What in the first place are user personas? Personas are fictional characters created to represent the different user types that use a site, a brand or a product. This is a very interesting topic and they do a lot of research as far as user personas are concerned. They are basically fictionalized characters that are related with the kind of traffic that could be coming to your website. You actually build a website, you have a very good user interface, you have a very good user experience, but what you do actually is you have, before implementing the website or the landing page, you actually do kind of a research which is based on hypothesis, which is based on assumptions. Let's say you do a lot of analysis in terms of what kind of traffic that could be coming to your website, and you actually engage this website with user personas which are basically fictional characters to actually help you understand what kind of traffic could be coming and how they could be engaging with your website or a landing page. A user persona is a representation of a goals and behavior of a hypothesized group of users. You are actually creating a group of users. They could be also testers in other ways. What you do is you advise them to go to your website, study the behavioral patterns of how the user interface and the user experience works, and this is based on hypothesis. This is a hypothesized group of users, and you engage with them with your website to understand their behavioral patterns so that you can keep on improving and enhancing your user interface and user experience before you actually implement the website. And this is precisely what user personas are all about, and this is done at a very high level, at excellent level, so that you can actually have a very good website before you actually go live that engages with the real visitors and real traffic that is coming to your website. Why we actually need to create this user personas? Build empathy, gain a perspective similar to the users. You actually gain empathy. Before you actually make your website live, you actually create a group of users which are based on hypothesis, and these actually the group of users or testers, they will engage with the website and they will actually study the website and they will provide the kind of feedback that is required, and that is actually to gain a perspective of the users, the real users who will be coming to your website. Develop focus, help define who the software is designed for and who is not to focus on. This actually helps you in analyzing the behavioral pattern of this user personas, the hypothesized traffic that is you are driving to your website. It actually helps you to whom the website or the software is built for and to whom it is not built for, so that you can focus clearly on the kind of people who are actually going to be your real traffic, real source of visitors and real customers, so that you can actually derive some insightful information based on this hypothesis. Then you communicate, form teams, consensus. You actually are driving certain traffic which are hypothesized, which is not real traffic, before you actually create a website, make the website live. When you have the website under still testing process, you drive traffic which is basically a hypothesized traffic, which is not real traffic. When you drive traffic to the website, you understand the behavioral pattern of this hypothesis traffic, then you form a team and you take out the decisions, take out the opinions, and you create a consensus with what is working and what is not working on the website. If at all you need to do any tweaks, enhancements or improvements on your website before actually you go make your website live. Make decision based on consensus. The consensus decision is extremely important. When you are driving 100 people who are actually not the real traffic, which is actually hypothesis traffic, you take the opinion, you form a team, you take the opinion and you go by the consensus, but what actually people are recommending and what people are not recommending. Measure effectiveness, measure and test. After you do the necessary testing based on the consensus that you build on the hypothesized traffic, you take decisions and you implement those decisions. How actually user personas are created? Interview and observe adequate number of people. You actually interview and talk to people, make them visit your website, and you take adequate number of people so that you can get a large group. This is basically kind of a survey that you are actually doing before you are making your website live, and you have to have adequate number of people. Find patterns in the interviews, responses, actions groups similar to people together. You actually have to find a traffic. If you are actually driving 100 hypothesized users to your website, you actually understand the behavioral patterns of those people, and you actually drive and take forms, take groups, and actually responses based on the groups. How many people are saying this has to be changed, how many people are saying this has to be changed, what is the consensus that you are building out of the pattern that you are actually creating. Create archetypal models of these groups. You have to create the models, archetypal models. These models are actually will provide you the insightful information and what need to be changed, what need not to be changed, why it need to be changed. Then you actually broaden your horizon and actually take the informed decisions as far as the improvements on your website are concerned. Then create user centered designs. The designs have to be user centered. The designs that you build is not for search engines. It is intended towards your customers, intended towards your prospective customers. And when you have the hypothesized traffic driving to the website and they provide you the insightful information, you derive consensus out of that changes, whatever the recommended changes that are coming out of from this hypothesized traffic, then you actually implement and changes the designs, and they have to be user centric. Then you share those models with other team members and stakeholders. Whatever the changes that you have done after the personas have actually been created, the recommended changes, and those changes have to be built, implemented. Then you share the complete information with the team members and the stakeholders so that you can actually go on implementing those changes before making your website live. And these are the ways that you actually create the user personas. In conclusion, what we have seen in this video is what are user personas, why we need to create the user personas, and how the user personas are created. What are the different means that you can use to create those user personas for improved conversions. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again.